What up, animation fans? I'm back with another video reviewing the third episode of the new LEGO Friends series. And this is a good episode. But I do have a bit of a problem with it. I'll get to my reasons why in a bit, once I start the review. But I don't know, it's a good episode. It gets major. I think it's a good job having a focus episode on one character. I like the focus episodes. Just in this character, this episode does have almost all the characters in it, except, well, two are not in the episode, kind of. Basically, Autumn and Leo are not in the episode, kind of. Autumn's not entirely in the episode, but Leo has a bit of a cameo appearance early on in the episode when Leo's passing by the lockers. No interaction, just there. Now, if you have not watched the series yet, it's just checking out one special to episode 3. Because it's a good series. I'm loving the characters, what they're doing on, they're focusing. They already focus on each character's personality and stuff. Even after they've already become friends, they give them good focuses. So, let's get into the review. So, the episode opens up, actually, before I think about it, I actually want to point out the opening in a sec. Someone only just noticed. See, at the end of the opening, when the title, when the show's name, LEGO Friends, the next chapter appears, this little detail I didn't even notice. They position the characters. Yeah, they position the characters. I didn't notice it, but on the bottom, like on the right or left, on the bottom right, from my perspective, Leo's next to is right next to Nova. On the left, Paisley, Ollie, and Leanne are in the same place. And top, Leo, Autumn, and Aaliyah. It's just a very good detail I didn't even notice. You don't understand if you watch these. Think about it. Some things happened. Like, I'm not sure about Zack and Nova, but I think it's just supposed to be a reference. Is that those two could be more closer friends in the future. You know, we haven't had a focus on those two yet. But they may become closer friends. I'm not sure about that one, but for Paisley, Ollie, and Leanne, those three were already friends by episode 1. As they were all as they were already friends, and they mentioned Ollie by name that they were already friends. And the top, well, you probably could guess, but Aaliyah, Leo, and Autumn are being friends since the special. Well, they haven't really done much since then. Leo's only appeared in 2 episodes. Autumn was appeared in 2 as well after the special. Their characters didn't do much since we only focused on those being the special. But we still haven't. I like how a lot of the episodes give a focus to the characters. They always have to be on screen together. I like that. So anyway, this episode has an A and B plot. But that's what disappoints me. I'll get the reason why. So yeah, something I didn't know, think about at the time, but Zack is Aaliyah's roommate. You know, they're staying together. Which makes sense. Zack moved to from the countryside and is staying with his cousin. So yeah. And Zack's hogging the bathroom. He comes out, it's all freshened up. A big mess is in there. I think Aaliyah notices the big mess he made, which really annoys her. And after that, we cut to our class. Nova, Paisley, and Leanne are there. And Nova says, they're talking about animals. Says they're drawn. No, says she doesn't really like animals. You know, which is really annoying Leanne a bit. And when Oliver sees Leanne's drawing, she yesterday said something bad about. She said basically says to Nova Leon that her drawing's kind of bad, so she thought it was a moose. That was actually a seagull. So yeah, those are two focus characters, but you know, the A plot doesn't have much focus. Normally when it shows an A and B plot, they always come together towards the end of the story. They also have a way of coming together at the end. But it doesn't have a satisfying convulge. They don't really convulge much in the episode. They're like just separate stories. They just feel like separate things, not going on at the same time. Characters don't really interact with each other. So, yeah, that disappoints me a bit. Because what's the whole point of A and B plot? We don't, you know, if not much is done with it. Like, we should just put the episode solely focus on Leanne. You know? Like, they should just solely focus on Leanne at all. Instead of, you know. So yeah, the A plot has not much significance in the story. It only has 4 appearances in the episode. Oh. There is a scene that's slightly connected to later on in the episode. But there's nothing to do with it. They don't interact to help each other solve each other's problems. You know, normally you think they'll help the characters, the two plots will interact, will help each other solve the problem. Like, do you know what the best of A and B plots is? Phineas and Ferb. A plot always focuses on the boys' inventions. B plot focuses on Perry the Platypus and Dr. Doofenshmirtz. But towards the end of the episode, the two plots converge into one for a satisfying conclusion. You know, where Dulcinea ends up stealing someone to the boys' invention, causing them not to be busted. That's how you do A and B plots well. Predictable. It's a predictable formula, but still fun and refreshing. I may talk about things above, actually. Yeah, I actually may plan to do a review on the series sometime in the future. I want to. It's a good series. And since it's getting rebooted, well, not when it's coming back. So, anyway, after class, Leanne is drawing her sketch bag. She draws Nova as a snake monster. You know? And hastily Nova show up. Leanne quickly hiding her red. So, they're talking. Basically, has a lot to do in this episode. She wasn't in the last one, as I mentioned. She wasn't in the last episode, she was absent. But I like how characters can be absent at school. They actually should explain their absences, though. Like, they have to have reasons. They can't all have colds. Because that is way too predictable. Like, they did, look what they did with Leo. It's relegated to just a quick appearance in the episode. No dialogue, no face showing. I think that's a good way to have the characters not into. You can where the characters, the story doesn't have to, where it doesn't involve them. You can just still be in the school, just relegated to background. Anyway, no one has gym class and leaves. Nancy no suspect something about Leanne and picks up drawing, and she comments that it's very rude. Leanne tells her it's private, as Paisley decides to leave with awkwardness. Meanwhile, in the canteen, or cafeteria, Leanne's trying to enjoy her lunch when Zach comes in with his messiness, causing her to finally get fed up. Now, the A plot doesn't do much. That's also disappointing me. The A plot was alright, but the B plot was more interesting. Like, if you want an episode about focus on Zach's messiness, that's okay. But don't relegate it to small times. They could have just dealt the entire episode, but no, they didn't. So it was pretty pointless. So A plot gets a minus from me. But A B plot gets a thumbs up. Because it's actually a good thing to do. Anyway, Alina's had enough and says that she just had enough of Zach's messiness. Zach is definitely a little hurt by that news. Alina's frustrated. No. Leanne is sitting under the tree. And she realizes her drawing of Nova is missing. So looks everywhere. She doesn't know where it's going to. So she asks Paisley because she's worried Nova sees it and it might be bad. I mean, yeah, I understand her worry. Though Nova would definitely be angry at what Leanne did. I don't understand she did it out of frustration, but that's still wrong. How would you like it if you were treated as someone drew you as a monster? If your friend drew you as a monster, how would you feel about that? So you can understand both angles. So making them both make it a great character. That's what I like about the A plot. And Zach's messiness is also a good storyline too, in a way. Like Zach can be messy. And it's a perfect contrast to Aaliyah's perfectness. So it's just shame it was slated as not much focus in the story. Only again, doesn't have much screen time as the B plot. So this is the first A and B plot in the show. Think about it. Episodes 1 and 2 had no B plot. Like it was just one plot. Just focus on. We do. Well, especially also kind of have A and B plots, and C, A plot. I think I special. We'll come to the end. Is Aaliyah. Trying to hurt the orphan herself. With Leo not even offering to help. Well, the B plot focuses on Autumn and her animal rescue situation. Those are good plots. And they work woven into the story perfectly towards the end. I love that this episode focuses on Leanne. She's had a couple more. Was there in other episodes a great motivation, just to establish her. After become friends with the others. But this episode gives her sole focus. Focuses on her more. Which I like. It's good. Giving her more focus in the episode. So yeah. Leanne asks Paisley for help. Paisley ultimately agrees. They search the art room, but nothing there. Zach tries his best to do some cleaning. Says trying to clean up the bathroom himself, but failing. To a failed search. Leanne tries to beg Ollie for help. Ollie, I don't know why they gave Ollie a British accent, but it's because he's like fashion. I don't know. But hey, it does show the male side of fashion. Like a lot of shows with teen characters, always has to go into the fashion. We don't see a male character into fashion, so it's rare for that representation. Because there are probably a lot of boys who want to get into the fashion industry too, but I'm told that's just too girly. Who says fashion's for girls? So, yeah, good representation. Anyway. So, yeah, they go searching and shit. So, they find different ways searching. And even find someone with a grilled sandwich. Doesn't work. You know, Zach's apologizing to Aaliyah for his messiness and offers to clean the entire house as an apology, which Aaliyah agrees to, as he pulls up a chore wheel that he's bad at cleaning. Meanwhile, Ollie and Leanne are still looking for it to even go dumpster diving. Even check bags, but can't find anything. And Nova shows up with a picture. Ollie makes us leave, just makes us escape from the situation. That's kind of funny. So we cut to a diner where Aaliyah and Zach are talking about Zach's terribleness cleaning. What can Zach do? Leah suggests, why not you try to think of something that's good cleaning with his own skills, what he's good at, and try to work that way into the cleaning. And Leah offers to help too. It does help. But Zach says she doesn't have to, but Leah says she knows, but she wants to. Show how much of a good she is willing to help her cousin who she cares about. Like, she understandably was mad at Zach's messiness. Who wouldn't be? Like, if it's like, but Zach did say that he's still adjusting to this place. Because after all, he has a. Turns out he had a lot of people cleaning the place for him. So, but okay, how weird. Oh well. We don't really see Aaliyah's family. We only saw a bit of Leo's family once. Not a special. But Alta's mother also appeared once in the special. And had a voice appearance later on in the special too. But no appearance since then, but she's definitely going to be reappearing though. Reason she had a physical appearance also because she was Mia. A character from the original Like a Friends series from 2013 to 2022. So anyway, after that we are also in the exact same diner at that time. Leanne and Nova are there. Leanne is trying her best to make up to Nova. By doing stuff. And Nova was just messing with her though. But you can see she was a little mad about what Leanne did. Leanne apologizes for doing that. She said she just do it out of frustration after what she said about her drawings. But Nova makes a good point. How would you look at if someone drew you as a monster? You'll feel bad. That would definitely hurt you. Would you forgive them? That's a question. You can forgive them. They really are sorry, but they're not. Break ties with them. So, Nova was just missing her. She's not angry about the helping. She actually thinks it's pretty cool. So Leanne actually asks how she found it. We go back to the same scene earlier in the episode, from a different perspective in a way. We kind of get a specific way it happened, but nothing exactly tie into the A plot. Basically, the reason is, while they were talking, Zach was walking by with chewing gum, and saw a bin and tried to put and just threw his gun there, but he landed on a chair instead. Bench instead. The Nova leaves. Yeah, I was just supposed to see earlier. The picture gets stuck. And then they leave. Nova comes back to put her in her gym bag. She sees the picture and actually chuckles at it. She thought it was pretty cool. You don't want to see him in a t-shirt. Leanne says that she could get Ollie to do it. So it was a good moment. And even though Nova did like it, there can be people who could be offended by that. Having to threat your own friend, do that. But I don't understand Leanne's frustrations. Nova should have been more careful what she said. I understand Nova's more being a solo girl. So she may be... so we may get episode of her trying to, trying to adjust to having friends. They could do an episode about that, but anyway, she was a little too mean, a little harsh there earlier. She says. So she could have been a little more. She could have been a little more careful what she said. So yeah, but I do like how Nobis interacted with them a little more. You know, becoming friends. That's really cool. I like how that's connected. Anyway, after that, after the B plot resolved, we get the part of the A plot to be resolved. So having resolved at the same time, like other stories that have A and B plots. Yeah, I know. I'll keep talking about it. It's just really stupid. So yeah, Zack's using his martial arts to clean the house. You know, Zack's doing good, and well, Aaliyah said she could get used to it. Zoom out of that apartment block with Zack instantly smashes her in. Yeah, a fun moment, and the way the episode ends. But I say, it's a good episode. I really enjoyed it. I just wish they got put a little more focus on the A plot, instead of just brushed aside most of the time, and just went out to think, oh yeah, there was another plot going on. Like, not much is done with that. You know? Like, they could have just had Aaliyah try her best not to say anything to Zack, so she doesn't hurt his feelings. And ends up meeting with Leon Autumn or any other of the characters. Or ends up meeting with Paisley later, talking to her. Oh, Wild Vice good. Because, maybe Paisley they could have just done something different. That's my only complaint. The A plot wasn't that interesting. They didn't give much focus on it. And there's no way to properly tie into the B plot. But the B plot, I liked them more. Give us more focus to Leanne. And actually have enough focus on Rolova too. You know? As Leanne says, she draws the... When she's stressed, when she's frustrated, she draws to calm down. And it's a lesson to a lot of kids. The whole thing's relatable. You know? But either way, the whole thing's relatable to a lot of kids. Like, you sometimes have a friend that says some things, and you end up taking your frustration out on something that ends up hurting your friend's that could actually hurt your friend's feelings. And some kids who have roommates or a guest sometimes be messy and have a messy friend or something that gets them a little that could really, really annoy them. It's not just all. So yeah, very relatable, but a little more improvements. By the way, it's still a good episode. And if you guys watching, enjoy my content, please hit the thumbs up button if you want to see more. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. You'll be up to date all videos that comes out in the future. I'll see you guys next time for more animation videos. You know that. Anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see you all next time for another video. Dom out. I should make change the name again someday. I'm not good with coming up with names, okay? I can't pick up anything for an animation channel. If you guys should think of a name for an animation channel, please let me know in the comments down below. See you guys next time. Dom out.